Hello students, welcome you all for online learning session. Today let's begin with new chapter of geography for standard 9th, that is chapter number 6, properties of seawater, part 1. So let's begin. Which is the largest water storage of the world? Yes, oceans are the largest water storage of the world. And why the water in the sea or ocean is salty? Now, salt in the ocean comes from rocks on land, right? Rivers carry dissolved salt to the ocean, and when water evaporates from the oceans to fall again as rain and to feed the rivers, what happens? Water evaporates, but the salt remains in the ocean, and because of that only seawater remains salty. So in the earlier classes we have studied the tides, ocean currents with reference to oceans. In this lesson we will study the measure properties of seawater. In this part 1 we will study temperature, landlocked seas and open seas. First, temperature. Temperature is a measure property of the seawater. The surface temperature of the seawater is not uniform everywhere. This is dependent on different factors. Latitudinally, if you speak, the surface temperature of the seawater decreases from the equatorial areas towards the poles. The average temperature in equatorial areas is around 25 degrees Celsius and it is 16 degrees Celsius in mid latitudes, while it is about 2 degrees Celsius near the poles. Poles means the North Pole and the South Pole. You can say the Antarctic Circle or the Arctic Circle, which lies in the frigid zone. Besides this, cyclones, rainfall, sea waves, ocean currents, salinity, you can say pollution, conventional currents, seasons, etc. also affect the surface temperature. That is, ocean currents also have similar effects on temperature in the seawater. In regions where cold ocean currents flow, the surface temperature of ocean water is less, while the regions where the warm currents move, the temperature increases. While most of the sun rays radiate back from the surface of the sea, some of them penetrate to certain deepness in the water, depth in the water. But as a result, the intensity of the sun rays decreases. With increasing deepness, temperature decreases up to what level? Up to 2000 meter depth. And after 2000 meter, what happens? The temperature of the sea water is uniform everywhere. Uniform means equal everywhere. But when after 2000 meter, okay, means till 2000 meter the sun rays passes, okay, and it is around 4 degrees Celsius everywhere. What? The temperature is 4 degrees Celsius everywhere from the equatorial regions to the polar areas. Temperature reduces only up to 4 degrees Celsius according to the deepness. It depends on the deepness. And it does not goes in minus or below freezing point. Freezing point means 0 degrees Celsius, but it does not go below that or till freezing point. And because of that only, what? The water is in the liquid state, okay, and therefore the water at greater depth does not freeze. The temperature of the seawater changes rapidly, constantly changes with depth at the equatorial areas. The difference in temperature is lesser in which region? That is polar areas. The difference in temperature is lesser where? In the polar areas means the South Pole and the North Pole, means the Antarctic Circle and the Arctic Circle, means the frigid zone, you can say. So there is also a difference in open seas and landlocked seas. As the salinity of the landlocked seas is more, the temperature of these landlocked seas is higher than the open seas. This is true for low latitudinal areas. The meaning of landlocked sea is what? the sea which is completely surrounded by land on all four sides. And the meaning of open sea is what? It is the middle of the ocean or sea without land in sight. So this was all about the temperature, landlocked sea and open sea. In the next video, we will study the salinity, dead sea and density of seawater. Thank you.